Welcome. Bienvenidos a todos. Bienvenue, welcome. Come on in. Happy to have you here on this beautiful morning here on Vancouver Island. Thanks for coming in. This is a visioning exercise, and you'll want to grab a piece of paper and a pen and honor this time as it will be 30 minutes, a tight container, and one where I hope that you leave feeling nourished and resourced and expansive, connecting in with the energy of your future self as visioned by this present self. So come into yourself, get nice and comfortable. You'll again want a pen and paper. I'm going to show you my setup here just so that you can see what you will be looking at as we go through this exercise. So I have my paper here, a normal pen. If you have markers, feel free to bring markers. Anything at all, but nothing too complicated. Let's not overcomplicate what we're working on. And I'm going to take us right into this ceremony just to keep our time tight. And I welcome all of you. Thank you, Irene, for being here, bringing energy in from Virginia. Very grateful for you jumping in and contributing to this this moment. And if there are any questions, please let me know. But this recording will be available for anybody who would like to dive into this ceremony and try. I want to just share briefly how this visioning came to me. On January 11th, my daughter and I created collage vision boards. And I have permission to share. So I'm sure some of you know, or maybe have created before visioning boards where you cut out pieces of paper, words, add decals, glitter. And this is my daughter's. We made these on January 11th. Okay. And that is a very beautiful form of visioning, very creative, very juicy, exciting way to create. And you can do it digitally. There's lots of ways to do that. But on the same day, without knowing, a friend contacted me, my dear friend Nicola, and offered a new way of visioning that I hadn't done before. And it comes out looking like this, which I then shared with my partner on the same day, and he was keen to do it. If you know Emilio Jose Garcia Rodriguez, he then created one as well. And that's what I'm going to take you through right now. So grab your piece of paper, grab a pen, grab a marker, as we're going to dive into this and leave here after the 30 minutes, hopefully with something that allows you to see. And I'll just leave it there. I have pre-shuffled some oracle cards and a tarot deck just to give us a little bit of collective guidance before we begin. And I would ask of you, as you're treating this as a sacred moment with yourself, and this might be the only time that you get a bit of quiet and inner reflection today. So enjoy it. Be cozy, have your tea, your water, whatever you need next to you. Maybe you have music, maybe you have incense burning. I'm going to change my camera over, so you're not going to see my face, but you are going to see what I'm working on as I guide you through. Is everyone ready to go? Who is here? I just want to double check. You have your paper, your pen. I don't want to get started without you. And we'll dive into those oracle cards and tarot just to give us that energy before we begin. And I see the hearts going. So let's begin. So I'm grateful that you're here. I'm grateful that we didn't have to arrange a time in our calendars to make this happen. This beautiful technology allows us to just gather and get this in. And if you come in during the ceremony, you are most welcome here, and just jump in if you have any questions. And Tina, thank you for being here so much. Irene, Tina, Thank you for being here in this circle. So I'm going to switch my camera now so that you can see the board. If my sound changes, please let me know. Hopefully everybody can hear very well. So we're going to start with our pre-shuffled oracle cards. And the first card is Fear. This is the Crow Raven deck out of Oregon. And so I'm not going to interpret these cards. Maybe you're into numerology. It's the number 18, number 9, Fear. And that's our first card, an offering for the collective. So I understand that right now in the world there can be a lot of fear. The fear machine is pumping pretty heavy. Thank you, Elaine. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for sharing the word anxiety. For those folks who are holding a lot, you are so safe and welcome here. And I am grateful for you being here. The next card that we have is Stand in your true heart and claim your path. I am strong. I am true. I am free to be me. And this is a beautiful image. This is the crone. She's holding chicken, new energy, wearing green shoes, grounded into the earth. Ground yourself now into this moment, wherever you are. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And release it how you wish. If sounds come out, if movement needs to come out, you are more than welcome. So we have fear, and we are true to be ourselves, and we claim our path. From the tarot, the 5 of Cups. So this is emotions. This is the disappointment of maybe something that we've drank. We've lost our taste of wine, and we're not really looking around and seeing that we have other options behind us. So really keeping our heads up when we are holding those heavy feelings, remembering to go to the wellspring of hope. And our last one, self-care, rest. Beautiful. Number 43, number 7. So rest. She rests to create. Or he rests to create, or they rest to create. So thank you for coming in. So just a reminder now, I'll put them all down in case anyone missed. These are the collective cards before we begin this visioning exercise. And just a reminder that you are welcome here. You're welcome in this space. Grab a piece of paper and a pen. CG, I see your beautiful icon down at the bottom. For anyone who doesn't know, CG is a wonderful teacher here on Insight Timer who creates beautiful offerings. So please make sure you check them out. So these are our collective readings. So breathe into that. Fear, rest, the 5 of Cups, keeping our heads up in hope and claiming our true path. Stand in our hearts. Okay, so we are going to begin. And the first thing I want you to do is to take your pen and I want you to put a dot somewhere in the center. Doesn't have to be exact. Somewhere in the center. This is representing your person. Okay, maybe the person that you are. Let me get my paper fully in there. So it doesn't have to be anything, but you could, if you wish, create a little icon, a little emoji. I've got a little balloon here. That's going to represent me. Instead of just a plain dot, you can choose something different. You can even write here that this is me or you, however you want to name it. Okay? Welcome, CG. Thanks for being here. Yeah, so you have that dot. And now you're going to create another little symbol. I'm just gonna choose a circle and turn it into a yin-yang symbol. And this is going to represent the higher power, however you want to refer to it. Some people call it God, creator, source. Okay, doesn't really matter where it is, but it's kind of close to you. And feel into that. So even if you're an atheist, even if you don't believe that there's anything out there, be open-minded. Try this exercise. We've got higher power. And then you're going to put 2 hearts, the shape of a heart, around it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be artistic. Imagine that this is everything that's joyful. My pen's kind of running out. That's yummy. Whatever words make you feel well. Maybe this is excitement. Imagine that in between those 2 rings, those 2 hearts, are all that wonderful energy. The joy, the yumminess, the love. Okay? And hopefully everyone's still with me here. And now from yourself, from that beginning icon, you're going to put a circle around that higher power from yourself coming out there. And if I'm moving too fast for anyone, you'll let me know. And remember, this isn't about artisticness. This is about being in this moment. Breathe deeply in through your nose. Stay here in this place. And remember that we're visioning for our future self. Now you're going to take another circle from that me part, and you're going to create a smaller circle that overlaps into the higher power. Almost like a Venn diagram, if you've ever heard of something like that. The circles overlap. This is representing the ego, the self. Okay? That circle. It's an extension of you. It's coming from that dot, that source. Hi, April. So nice to see you, goddess. I don't know if April has created any tracks on Insight Timer yet, but welcome, April. I'm happy to have your magic here. Thank you. And just remember, if you've come in a little bit late, this will be recorded and this will be put on YouTube. This is being created specifically for a circle of women who our schedules weren't aligning. And I said, I'm just going to record this for us. And again, a lot of honor and gratitude goes out to my dear friend Nicola, who did this with me on January 11th. So we've got those placements. We've got the self, the original source dot. We've got the higher power surrounded by juicy, yummy, joyful energy, excitement with 2 hearts. And then the circle that creates, that's quite large, that energy. And then our self, our ego. And now we're going to create one more circle that's going to go over all 3. So around the self, around into the higher power, creating that Venn diagram. Those are our feelings. I've made mine quite small, actually, but you can make your circle a little bit bigger if you want. These are feelings. I could be doing this upside down for you. So our self, our ego, connected to that dot, our feelings coming out here, and all of them overlapping with higher power source, if you will. So from this point, you can imagine that it's your soul. It's your soul coming from you, and that will be illustrated in a minute. And I hope you're still with me, sinking into anything that might be coming up for you. Now that we have this complete, we're going to draw a square box, well, square, rectangle, however yours comes out, around this. Okay? My pens all seem to be dying, but that's okay. Let me see here. Choose a juicier, fatter marker. This box represents everything that you know. Your subconscious. Let me write. And you can write this in. Everything that I know. Even the subconscious that, we don't really know, but that we know. This box represents everything that you have currently access to. And if you're here on a healing journey or path, maybe you're getting more and more, your box is expanding and expanding and expanding as the days go on. And we're almost complete in our drawing, so stay with me. Now that we know everything that we know within this box, from this source point that is overlapped with self, feelings, and higher power, we're going to draw lines out to the edges. You can make them however you want. They can be waves, they can be messy. You don't have to think about it. You can use a stone from that point and push the stone so the stone guides where your pen goes. That's just kind of fun. A release of the idea that any line needs to be a certain way. And when you feel you have enough lines, stop. Only you know when you have enough. These lines represent your energy moving out through the universe. It represents your soul expressing itself. And hopefully most of you had your lines done before I told you that, so that the mind can't interfere with what that feels or looks like or how many there is. But this is your soul's expression. Now we're going to make circles. Doesn't matter how big they are. They could be small, but they're overlapping through the box, out into the unknown. Ooh. And maybe you don't know how many they're going to end up being, or maybe you specifically want to intentionally choose a number. I want 11 circles around my box. I want 7. I want 9. However it turns out. This is not perfect. This is a repeatable pattern, a recipe that you can do. Maybe you're just here and we're not taking this too seriously, and you're going to do this again later with more time, with more intention. I'm purposely making this, if you will, quick, but intentional and sacred. Okay? Now in each of those circles, write the things that come to you when you think of your future self. And I don't want to prompt too much what those could be. I don't want to create any limitations with what my offering might be for those words. So if things come to you naturally, start putting them in the circle. You can have maybe 2, 3, 1 even is enough of a focus for each circle. And I will give some examples. I'll read out the ones that I had on my previous. I had gratitude, love, one mob, aliveness, love, wild roar, harmony, balance, divinity, tradition, family, love, forgiveness, alignment, health. I'm going to switch my camera just so you can see again the one that I've completed. You can see some of those words here. Okay, so in each of those circles, I've put words. Take some time here. We're just going to take 1 more minute to finish writing down those words. And you might want to pause if you're watching the recording. Pause and finish. I'm going to put some in here. In almost every circle, I wrote love. My friend Nicola gifted me with that because I do believe that more love brings more energy. Take your time. And maybe for some of you, this feels overwhelming, a little bit messy. That can come up, and that's okay. And again, if I'm moving on before you're complete, please honor forgiveness and just stay with it. These lines that we brought out to the outside, that was our soul expressing to the universe. Now we're going to follow those same lines back. And if you can, choose the color yellow, higher vibrational energy, and follow those lines. Doesn't have to be perfect, back into self. So follow those lines. This is representing the energy that's coming back to us, the vibrations of the universe. We put energy out, and energy comes back into us. Maybe we've heard that message, whatever you put out will come back to you. And so focusing on that energy that we're putting out, what we're intentioning, and that's that higher source energy coming back to us through the universe. The next step is to add intention. And that's going to take, for some, much more time. We're going to, I missed a little circle. We're going to add a double ring around our circles. And in each circle, the border, we're going to draw small circles. And each time we draw one of these circles, we're going to be saying, thank you. Thank you, I'm grateful. Love. Really high vibrational thoughts. Each circle, intentionally breathing and saying, thank you, I love you. I am so grateful for my health, for my love. Even if it doesn't feel fully true, we're surrendering to this process, this repetitive, mindful activity. With each circle, I love you, I'm grateful. And we're going to keep doing that until we go all the way around, breathing intentionally, maybe releasing fear, anxiety, those cards that we pulled at the beginning, the energy we were coming in with, and bringing in love, whether it's currently in our energy field or not. We want more of that. Okay. And we're going to do that for every circle. And the intention is that you are supercharging this piece of paper, this vision, okay, with each circle. And it doesn't have to be pretty. It certainly doesn't have to be symmetrical. We're releasing the idea of perfection. And we're going to continue to do that in our own time so that I can keep this in our 30-minute container. So remembering that each circle, you're supercharging this energy. And now in these outer spots, in these columns, you can then, once you're finished these circles, continue to draw circles, if that feels good, hearts, squares, lines, whatever comes to you. And with each time you touch the pen to paper, you're, again, thinking this intention. Overall, this finished paper might take you about an hour to draw all the circles, to fill all the spaces. You can use different colors to make it feel joyful. Maybe you just want to do stars. Maybe you want infinity symbols. Maybe you want to do flowers, whatever it is. This is time for you to doodle, if you will, but with intention of, I love you, I'm grateful, thank you so much. And you can repeat these words that you've put in your circle. And here is the result. I'll show you both. This was mine. So I finished with the instruction of what's happening on this paper. We finished these circles. We put our high energy vibration. We understand that these lines represent the energy we send out into the universe. The yellow represents the energy coming back to us. This box represents everything that we know. And in this box is us, which is the self, our feelings, and our higher power, or our source, God, creator, however you want to label that. Protector, angels, sacred beings, ascended masters, however you want to refer to this, dragons, elves. And outside of this box is everything we still don't know. It's the universe interacting with us. It's the universe engaging and what we do not see. And for me, what was really beautiful about this exercise was that you didn't need to have anything special. This is my partner Emilio's, and I have permission to share. This box is everything I know, and yet there's so much happening outside of me. And for the first time, I had never seen an image, a physical image that could show me what my limiting beliefs look like. Because of course, within this box, I hold all my beliefs. I have my emotions and my feelings that control a lot of how I move through my world. Myself, my ego, and the conditioning that I have. And of course, my source and inner knowing, my intuition, my superpowers, my clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, claircognizance, that all exists in here. But then there's so much out there happening for me, working for me. And when I saw that expansion, I realized that yes, or for Emilio's, he's got expansion, connection, living in a dream. There's what he knows of that vision of those things. And then there's everything outside that, since he's put the intention out, is now just working for him. This piece of paper has received so many I loves yous, so many thank yous, so many I'm grateful fors. And what was magical and why I felt really compelled to share and record this for everyone to participate in this was that on the same day that my daughter and I naturally created a collage vision board was the same day I was invited to then create this other version of visioning for myself. And I did it on the back of the collaged version. So I have this really supercharged piece of paper that I can now look at and just remember I have put a lot of intention and positivity and love and energy. And I believe in all of that coming back to me. I believe in source working for me and not against me. My angels and my ancestors, they know that this is healing. They know that this is creating positive ripples. So when we feel hopeless or we feel burdened and weighed down by fear, by disappointment, the Five of Cups, all I know is I need to stand in my true heart and I need to rest. I don't need to do anything to deserve to allow. I need to honor that we rest to create so that we can take the fear, the disappointment, the anxiety, we can hold it and we can release it somewhere. We can acknowledge it. We're not ignorant to it. We know that's happening. And that, my dear friends, is the conclusion of this visioning exercise. And I'm really grateful that you could be here and participate in this. And I hope that you can create something that feels in alignment with where you are, but most of all, gives you so much hope, shares so much love to you. Because what are we gonna do with the wickets of the world? We'll make magic, make magic. What are we gonna do with the smoke and mirrors? Make magic, make magic. I see good people all around me, acting wisely. Open your eyes, look around, what do you see? Those in power are meek in their ways, say stop. We'll hold them back with the magic in our cook pot. That's a little rising Appalachia coming at you. Sometimes I just bust into song and it just happens. So I'm going to now say namaste, miigwech, haichka, which is thank you on this ancestral territory on Vancouver Island, haichka. Muchas gracias. Merci beaucoup. Mahalo. Shishi. I thank you all for being here, and I am going to stick around if anyone has questions, but the recording has stopped.